Welcome to We Need to Talk. Today we're talking about the immigration crisis throughout America.
When it rigged an election, think that we wouldn't notice. You're about to find out what it's like now when you wake up sleeping giant. Don't go get surprised when the
Hear ye, bring me your poor, your heavy laden, and all of those in between. We are going to take care of them here in America on the American tax dollar. That's right, the American tax dollar. I wanted to talk about this immigration crisis going on throughout America because I've been talking about Seymour, Indiana for the last couple of days, and I think that there's a lot more news that can be shared, such as Maine taxpayers. Maine taxpayers in Brunswick are now funding new apartments in Brunswick for border crossers and illegal aliens, providing at least 2 years' worth of rent. So, hold on. Can I just walk down to the border? Dear President Biden, if I walk down to the border on my feet the entire time, and then I cross that border and I come back through the border and I walk all the way home, will you please pay my rent, my mortgage for 2 years? Please, deal. Let's shake on it. Of course not. You are not illegal enough, and nobody's going to get their pockets stuffed with money if that happens because the corporations aren't going to pay Joe Biden and all of his cronies to have me do that. So, a lot of people are very, very upset about what's going on over here in Maine. You're not able to see the Twitter comments, but I am on Twitter right now. In the comments, people are saying this is taxation without representation, which I think 100% we have taxation without representation right now. And I think if people stopped paying their taxes, everybody at once, it would be a genius idea because they can't lock us all up. But, yeah, all right. Yeah, if I disappear, I promise I'm a happy person, all right? Nothing says virtue signaling like creating 60 units for criminally illegal aliens after 10 million have shown up. Isn't that true? We can't do this for our own citizens. How nice. And we can. We've been able to fix the homeless crisis, obviously, for years and years and years and years. But guess what? Nobody's done it because there's no corporations paying for it. Nobody's pockets are getting stuffed. None of that stuff is happening. So it's never, ever, ever going to happen. The only way things get done is when money gets transferred. So there is a lot of money being transferred. And there is this video over here in the comments that says the war is already here, you just don't know it. And I want to watch it. Let's check this out.
On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake,
I love Donald
tender-hearted
J.
woman
Trump.
saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Her pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman.
It is absolutely insane how many people are coming here. Like when you see the visuals, can you imagine if you, and this is probably like every day.
Cried the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk.
Those aren't cheap. I bought a few. They're not cheap. Those reflective blankets, they're like $10 each at least.
And laid him
That's cheap in comparison to other things, but I mean when you have that many of them.
by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and
They all have phones. They all have new phones.
as soon as she arrived,
Very poor people. Very poor. $1,200 phones. That sounds like the American liberal these days. We're fighting capitalism with everything that we purchased because of capitalism.
she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, oh tender
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Look at her crying.
woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman.
It's gonna be okay.
Sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her.
He's on his cell phone. Look, bro, I made it. I made it to America. I'm making it to America. Look, bro, my $1,200 phone. Look at me. Look how poor. Look how much in need I am. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, okay. They're all dressed well, too. They dress better than I do. Like, these people are dressed better than I am. And they're coming here to America to get our free stuff because our government loves to give out free stuff.
You're so
To everybody except for us.
beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you
hoodie?
truly would have died. She stroked
like
his pretty
$60.
skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman. And you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die.
Okay. That guy going to the border, letting people in, and then just hitting them with a emoji and a hey, that's kind of funny. And you can't even really blame the cartels for doing what they're doing. Like, sure you can, but you really can't. Because when you see an opportunity, why not take it, right? And that's what all these people are doing, and that's what all of the cartels are doing. They're like, well, America's opened up their borders, so why not make a lot of money on it? Like, we could be mad at the cartels for doing it, but at the end of the day, if there wasn't a way for them to get the people in, and we didn't just open up our borders because Biden and his administration are complete fools, then they wouldn't be able to get in here. But what they're going to do is they're going to tax.
Shut up!
Hey. They're going to tax us, and they're going to give all of it away to these people because corporations are paying for this trash. And I am, I guess what you would say, a capitalist. Like, I would defend capitalism against any other sort of form of government But I have to say that this is leaving a pretty bad taste in my mouth because this wouldn't be happening if it weren't for, well, first off, the wild thing is you got leftists promoting it. And then you have capitalists taking advantage of it. So you're messing with the worst of both sides. Like, if everybody were standing against this, I don't think the capitalists would be able to do it. But the left is actually supporting the capitalists in cheap labor. And then the freaking liberals were out here screaming, 15 an hour, 15 an hour. These people are going to devalue your ability to work. You know that, right? Like, you're going to get paid less because what they don't need you. They don't need you. They got them. So if you were hoping for $15 an hour or a better future, you've screwed yourself. Just so you know.
Silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Yep.
Does that remind you of anything?
That's powerful.
Be ready, because what they're allowing into our country is very, very bad.
Donald Trump 2024.
Lie to you about
Donald Trump 2024, 100%, 1,000%, no apologies. I don't care if you like him. I don't care if you hate him. I don't care what you say. I'm voting for that man for sure. For sure. Libs hate us. Okay, so that's like the whole thing right there. This lady is talking about how the border crisis in Chicago is so bad that they're now evicting people, but she doesn't say evicting. I love how she twists this. Listen to this.
On Saturday, the mayor will close 5 of those shelters. We have a rolling, the city doesn't like to call them evictions, but rolling time-out periods where people will have to leave.
The city doesn't like to call them evictions, even though they're evictions. Can you imagine if somebody was like, came to your door, hey, it's a bank. We're going to kick you out for a little bit, but just for a little bit. It's like it's a rolling thing. It's not like forever or anything. Yeah, it's called an eviction. You guys have failed. Your policies have failed. And then you have Republican governors like Eric Holcomb. Hi, Eric Holcomb. Not sure if you see this or if you're going to see this, but he's a part of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, the IEDC. And guess what? Seymour, Indiana. He's a part of what's going on in your city. Yes, Eric Holcomb needs to be voted out because he is a rhino. He is a traitor. He has 1,000%. He's hooked up with the Brookings Institute to do this IEDC bull crap over in Seymour, Indiana. And the reason you guys are dealing with so much of it is because our governor has failed you. The mayor has failed you. The city has not created city ordinances to protect you. There's so much going on in that poor city. In this last video I'm going to show you is a video of a politician in Denver, Texas, talking to illegal immigrants that have just gotten there, and he is saying there's no more room. There's no more resources. Everything's gone. We've gotten 40,000 immigrants already. We can't handle any more. So this is what happens when their liaison meets the migrants, and he tells them, we're going to ship you. Your journey's not over, but we're going to take you, and you don't have to walk. But we're going to take you to a city of your choosing. He doesn't say a sanctuary city. He says a city of your choosing. We'll even take you to the Canadian border because they failed They failed. This whole thing was going to fail from the get-go, and anybody with a brain could have seen that, but everybody likes to be political, and they want to be politically correct and make sure that they're nice and so empathetic and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, Trump just told us why being too empathetic to a snake is a bad idea, right?
Came to Denver before that.
Hemos recibido demasiados migrantes y por eso se acabaron los recursos. Mira, no te vamos a bloquear.
That's why we're out of resources. No, look, we're not going to block you if you want to stay here.
Si quieres permanecer aquí, no estoy aquí para bloquearte. Estoy aquí
I'm not going to block you. I'm here to let you know your path is not over.
para avisarte que tu camino no ha terminado. Si permaneces aquí, vas a sufrir
If you stay here, you're going to suffer even more, and I don't want to see this.
hasta más. Y esto no lo quiero ver.
Parents listen quietly as children play on the floor. As Denver tells these families that have sometimes walked from one continent to another that they just have to keep moving, but they don't have to walk. Denver will buy them a bus ticket.
Solo es que tu camino no
A tornado bus ticket, probably, huh?
ha terminado.
A Roadrunner bus ticket, yeah.
Tu camino no ha terminado. Que viajas un tantito más. No tienes que caminar por ningún.
You don't have to walk anywhere. We can buy you a ticket, a free ticket. So everything that's happening throughout the United States is the Democrats' fault. It's the left's fault, and it is Rhino Republicans' fault. True hardcore conservatives, this is not something that they've been doing that I can see. There may be some of those people who are snakes too, but as far as I understand, Make America Great Again stands for Make America Great Again. And they would not be about this. And anybody that has any part of this, you are ruining the country. You are ruining the futures of the country. And, you know, you could have done this in a lot better of a way. And here goes my last rant of the day. I have no problem with legal immigration. And I have no problem with needing more workers in a country. If we needed more workers, the government should have said this. Dear American people, we are going to allow 30 million legal migrants to come this year. Well, within the next 4 years. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure they are all well vetted. We're going to make sure that they have a desire to work. We're going to make sure that they're able to take care of themselves within a very timely manner. We may give them assistance for, let's say, 1 month. We're going to give them 1 month assistance after they have already gotten a job and they get their first paycheck. And then after that, it is on them to continue all of that, to keep that going. And we're not going to use taxpayer money. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to ask the corporations that want to hire them to please house them and feed them and do everything that they need to do in order to get these people here. And we're going to allow them to work at whatever the minimum wage is. But they could have figured something out that's better than what they did, because what they did is they go, well, our legal asylum thing, yeah, that's messed up. I don't know what Tony did with that, but just open it up. Just open it up. And then the other guy's like, don't you think that could cause some problems? Like, nah, maybe. Just look, the corporations are giving me a lot of money, all right? So just open it up. Just open the border up and we'll figure it out later. And that is exactly what's happened. So, dear American taxpayers, you are getting screwed. Corporations are screwing you. Your government is screwing you. The leftists are screwing you. And, well, the only thing you can do about it is vote better. Vote better, and we need to make sure that when we are voting people in, that we are creating safeguards. And like for the state of Indiana, what that would look like is being able to call what did they do to Gavin Newsom? Like a recall. They recalled him, and he got voted back in somehow. Dear Lord only knows. A lot of dead people probably voted for the guy. But my point being is we need safeguards. We need to get together. We can't just sit around and complain about it anymore. We have to become a force to be reckoned with. And what that, I do not mean like use force. What I mean is we need to make sure that we are voting in the proper people, and that when they do not do what they said they were going to do, we have a way to hold them accountable legally. So I appreciate your time. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Oh, see more Indiana people. I am going to be digging in more. I have a lot of people I'm going to be talking to next week. I have tons of emails to go through with all kinds of information that I need to dig through. I don't want to do it. The last couple of videos, I've had some discrepancies. That's because I was getting the information and then relaying the information. I don't want this to be a channel that just shoots out a bunch of fake information, false stuff. So I want to verify what I'm going reading through and just make sure that I'm getting you the most accurate information that I can. I have a family, a business, a lot of things going on. So all of these that I'm doing in kind of like the shortest amount of time possible. So until someday, unless this becomes a job and I make money on YouTube, I'm going to probably be putting those Seymour videos out a little bit slower, but I'm going to try to stay on top of like one topic a week throughout the emails that I have. It won't be all compiled into one large video. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you again. I think I said like, share, comment, subscribe, notifications, bell, yada, yada, yada. But until next time, be safe. Thank you.
Went and rigged an election, think that we wouldn't notice. You're about to find out what it's like